City Skylines allows the user to create perfect landscapes and to create the most mind-boggling locations. Here are 10 of the most incredible science fiction inspired cities made within City Skylines. Would you like to win yourself a City Skylines DLC? I'm giving away 3 codes to 3 winners for any DLC of your choosing. To enter, simply head on over to bit.ly/tmcitiesdlc and follow the instructions. Or click the link in the description. Selene made my jaw hit the floor. It doesn't even look like the same game. This is exactly what I'd hoped for from this episode. The sky walkways, the juxtaposition of monochromatic buildings next to neon buildings, and the sheer verticality of the city make the sci-fi feeling really come through in this build. Another monolithic sci-fi build, Stella City takes the opposite route to Selene by creating a very spaced out tiered city. Each segment of Stella City is built into spherical grids featuring a vertical downtown and residential suburbs. I love Missoni's blend of residential areas, heavy use of greenery and ocean. It all works so seamlessly and really gives Stella a unique look. Radioactive Doctor is not a name you generally come across in the City Skylines community, but this build shows that they're a name you need to pay attention to. Fifth Element is one of the strongest sci-fi builds I've come across, a perfect representation of the classic futuristic city design. The defining feature is undoubtedly the flying cars, which Radioactive Doctor says they got to work using the Invisible Roads mod. While City of Tomorrow is not the most complex build on this list, it is still a marvel to behold, and built exceptionally well. Conflict Nerd has built the city inside of a mountain in a spherical grid, which is something that frequently appears in sci-fi builds. The City of Tomorrow is very cool and clean, and gives off Utopia vibes. The Futuristic Metropolis is a classic representation of, well, a futuristic metropolis. An extremely vertical city built along the water, in a similar vein to a future New York City. The vibrant colours, the sharp architecture, and the flying spaceships are an absolute feast for the eyes. Astergea, which Utho dubs the world capital, is built as a futuristic version of New York City, albeit a much cleaner New York City. Similarly to many of the other builds on this list, Astergea is very clean, very bright, and very vertical. Astergea is much more eco-friendly than other cities we've come across. By far the standout feature is the monolithic glass island cylinder, which can be seen in this footage. Rogue City is dirty, it's grim, and sadly, it's the most realistic future city on this list. Rogue City is a walled city, surrounded by large concrete walls to keep its inhabitants safe from the world outside. However, the city inside feels like a city trying to survive. Slums surround the pristine skyscrapers and highlight the difference in life within the city. Tron City is by far the oldest city on this list, but it's also the biggest. So much so that you'll see the FPS you can achieve within the city is a solid 2. Tron City is a mosaic of circles and hexagons. The city grid pattern is one of the most appealing things about this city. On ground level, there's a crisscross of skyscrapers littering every inch of Tron City. By far my favourite feature, however, is the robot fighting arena. Aurelia isn't a hyper mega city like most others on this list, but it is a futuristic representation of a city trying to survive. The white-walled, grimy city feels realistic when you look at the current state of the planet and how things will look in the next 50 years. Asteria is a wonderful giant megacity behind large white walls designed to protect the people of the city. White is one of the clear themes of the city as everything glistens, from the old style architectural buildings and the modern super skyscrapers to the temples. While the city is not sci-fi in the usual sense of being a hyper-technological city, it does offer an alternative reality of a peaceful nation with multiple regions living behind their protective walls, free from outside influence. Asteria is without a doubt one of the most beautiful builds I've seen in City Skylines. If you have a project that hasn't been included in this list, or any of the previous episodes, then please do comment down below or drop me an email and your suggestions might make it in next time. This series will return in 2 weeks with an episode on mountain towns and featuring 2 guest creators. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, then please visit bit.ly/tmytpatreon. My first 3 supporters will unlock a special perk by being able to select a theme for an upcoming Cities, Prison Architect, or Planet Coaster episode, or perhaps a different creative game that you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.